you guys have, watched me for over 20 years. And of course, I faced one of you guys before. Ricky Hatton, a hell of a fighter. He's a very, very tough competitor. No matter what I say, Ricky Hatton was tough. He was a warrior. And when we faced each other, the best man won. But I just come here today to let you tell my story, let you guys know where I come from, tell you about my past, tell you about the present, and tell you about the future.
You've said it many times before that you didn't wake up at World Championships. You had to strive and work hard for everything you got. You didn't have the greatest upbringing. You had to overcome a lot.
Well, a lot of times we talk about my upbringing. Let me kind of tell you guys about my upbringing. I've made a 360 turn from where I come from. I come from drugs, poverty, shootings, stabbings, killings. That's my background. That's where I come from.
Yes,
it wasn't easy. My dad had been in prison. My mother been on drugs. I have a very, very interesting story. But through everything, I beat all odds to get to where I got to. But how today I surround myself with nothing but positive people. That's what it's about. If you want to make a change, you have to change the people around you, because you'll find yourself doing the same thing. And where I come from, there's only two ways it can end up if you're doing something. If you surround yourself with the wrong people, you either end up on drugs, dead, or in jail.
It wasn't all that, though, because you had there was a strong family bond there. I see the great pictures of you when you're running around in diapers with a pair of boxing gloves on, and you're being held up in the gym. You're 2-3 years of age. Great. Boxing was in the blood, really.
Well, it's always been my dream. It's always been my dream to be the best at whatever I wanted to get involved with. It was. I can remember when I just think back on my career in my life. I can think when I was a kid. When I wake up in the morning, the only thing I do is I look for the gloves. No toys, just gloves. All I want to do is just punch. I punch on the doors. I punch on the chairs. I punch on everything in the house. And then they used to always say, this kid's going to be the best fighter someday. But when I was a kid, I just wanted to go to the boxing gym, compete, and be the best that I can be when I was competing.
Was it your grandmother, was it Bernice, who told, had a word with your father to get me down to the gym because she thought that you might have something?
Who's the first person? You know what? Very interesting story. I was 10 years old. When I was 10 years old, I done an autograph signing at 10 years old before I had my first amateur bout. And the guy is no longer with us. May he rest in peace. He was a Caucasian guy. In America, of course, he's a white guy, cool guy. But he collected memorabilia, and he had me do an autograph signing at the age of 10. I was like, we just signed, pieces at the age of 10. I signed it, and he said, someday you will be the best fighter ever. You will be the best fighter ever someday. And when I was young, I just wanted to fight. I didn't care nothing about the money. I didn't care nothing about the fame. I didn't care nothing. I just wanted to fight. I didn't even care nothing about being the best. I just wanted to fight. But when I was around 14 or 15, that's when I thought about turning professional, because all I was doing was boxing professional fighters in a boxing gym at 15 and 14. By the time I reached 17 and 18, I was the best fighter in the world at 17 and 18.
When you won the Golden Gloves, sir, when you won the Golden Gloves, you were literally a junior in a fighting against.
Well, when I first won the Golden Gloves, let me explain to everybody how it works. We have, 50 or 51 states in America. And out of all 51 states, the best fighters go. It's 12 weight classes that the best fighters go. I was only 16 years old. As long as you weigh the same much, you fight. I went to the tournament at 16. I was fighting guys 24, 25, 26 years old. I ended up winning the whole tournament. And when I went to the tournament, I only had 15 fights against guys my age. Like I started when I was 10. So, I was fighting 10 and 11, you fight, 12 and 13, you fight, 14 and 15, you fight. So when I turned 16, I was fighting guys with 300, 400 amateur fights, guys that already went to the Olympics, and I ended up winning the whole tournament at 16.
The next major competition on the horizon was the 96 Olympic Games in Atlanta. It was a great team, by the way.
We had a real good team, but the tournament that I won that's the first tournament I won with my father. But then I was 16, then less than 2 months, my dad went to prison. My dad went to prison for a conspiracy of drug trafficking. You do the crime, you do the time. And, that's how it works, in our environment. But I went on without my dad and won the tournament 4 more times without my father. So then I moved to the 96 Olympic Games. I went to the Olympics without a trainer at all. Just working hard, pushing myself to the limit. I kept believing, no matter if no one else believes. With everyone in this room, if no one else believes, you have to believe. Because I don't think no one else had vision like I had. I seen a bigger picture. I seen a bigger picture. And when I went to the Olympic Games, I can remember. I think the first day I fought against Kazakhstan, I stopped him in the second round. We stopped the fight in the second round. Then I think I fought probably Romania. Then I beat the Cuban. I was the first American to beat a Cuban in the Olympics in 20 years. I beat the Cuban, and then I fought the Bulgarian, and I lost by 1 point, which, I was cheated, but
big controversy.
It was a big controversy in the Olympic Games while I was cheated in the 96 Olympic Games. But the great thing about that is this. I'm glad that I didn't receive the gold medal. I'm glad that I wasn't able to fight for the gold medal, because even if I would have won the gold medal, I probably wouldn't be here today telling my story and let you guys know about me.